In the previous lesson, we explored how property ownership can be structured through trusts and wills to control the use and transfer of real estate across lifetimes. Now we turn to a form of ownership that combines individual control with shared responsibility, the condominium. This unique model allows for private ownership of one's living space while sharing common property with others in the same development. A condominium is a hybrid form of ownership for multi-unit residential or commercial properties. Each unit owner holds fee simple ownership of the airspace within their individual unit and an undivided tenancy in common interest in the property's shared common elements, areas that all residents use and benefit from. For example, in a large complex, each resident owns their private living space but shares ownership of the lobby, hallways, pool, fitness center, and landscaping. Airspace and common elements. The defining feature of a condominium is the airspace that forms each unit. Ownership extends only to the interior space within the unit's boundaries: walls, floors, and ceilings. For example, while a condo owner might repaint their living room or install new flooring, they do not own the building's exterior or structural components. Those features are part of the shared common elements maintained by the condominium association. Common elements include everything necessary for the existence and maintenance of the property, such as the land, foundations, exterior walls, plumbing and electrical systems, recreational facilities, and shared hallways. Each unit owner shares responsibility for maintaining these areas through association dues. Imagine a 9-unit condominium building. If all owners have equal interests, each person owns 1/9 of the pool, parking area, elevator, and grounds, even though none of them can claim physical possession of those spaces. Ownership rights and interests. Condominium ownership is flexible and can be held in severalty, jointly, in trust, or through other lawful methods. Each unit owner holds exclusive possession of their own unit, but shares ownership and access to common areas with other residents. Owners have the right to possess, use, and exclude others from their private units, but must abide by the community's rules regarding shared areas. For example, residents may be required to pay additional fees for optional amenities, such as a private clubhouse or gym. A condominium unit can be sold, mortgaged, or transferred individually without interference from other owners, because each unit is a separate legal parcel. If a unit owner defaults on their mortgage, the lender can foreclose only on that unit, not the entire building. However, owners cannot sell their unit's interest in the common areas separately from their ownership of the unit itself. Each unit is also individually assessed and taxed. Property taxes are based on both the market value of the individual unit and the owner's proportional share of the common elements. Condominium creation and legal structure. To create a condominium, a developer must record a condominium declaration and a master deed with the county. These documents establish the property's legal status and define the rights and responsibilities of each unit owner. The declaration of condominium typically includes the property's legal description and name, a survey or plat map showing all units and common areas, each unit's ownership percentage and voting rights. The organization and bylaws of the condominium association. Covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, that govern use, maintenance, and transfer of units. Once recorded, the declaration legally establishes the condominium and creates a governing body, the condominium association. Condominium association and bylaws. The condominium association manages all shared property and enforces the community's governing documents. Every unit owner automatically becomes a member of the association, but daily operations are typically handled by an elected board of directors. The board oversees maintenance of the common elements, enforces rules, manages finances, and sets condominium fees, often called HOA dues. These fees cover expenses like landscaping, security, maintenance, and insurance. If the association lacks sufficient reserves for major repairs, it may levy a special assessment, an additional charge shared among owners to pay for unexpected costs such as roof replacements or emergency repairs. The association operates under bylaws, which outline how meetings are conducted, how officers are elected, how funds are managed, and how violations are handled. The bylaws may also include additional use restrictions beyond the CC and RS, such as quiet hours or parking regulations, that help preserve harmony in the community. Covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and Rs. The CC and Rs are recorded rules that govern how owners can use their property and the shared spaces. For instance, the CC and RS may prohibit pets, limit short-term rentals, or restrict exterior modifications. Even though a condo owner holds fee simple title, they must comply with all CC and RS to maintain consistency and protect property values. Violating these rules can result in fines or other penalties imposed by the association. Due diligence when buying a condominium. Purchasing a condominium requires extra attention compared to buying a single-family home. Buyers should carefully review all governing documents, including the Declaration of Condominium, bylaws, CC and RS, and the unit deed, to understand what is owned, what is shared, and what restrictions apply. Additionally, buyers and lenders should examine the financial health of the condominium association by reviewing monthly dues and reserve fund balances, upcoming assessments or major repairs, the association's insurance coverage, meeting minutes for signs of disputes or deferred maintenance. For example, a buyer who fails to review the association's reserves may later discover that a special assessment is required to replace a roof or repair plumbing, expenses that could amount to thousands of dollars. Review summary. A condominium combines individual ownership with collective responsibility. Each owner holds a fee simple title to their unit and a shared interest in the common areas. Condominium ownership is established through a declaration of condominium and governed by bylaws and CC and RS. A condominium association manages operations, finances, and enforcement of community rules. Condo owners must pay monthly fees and may face special assessments for major repairs. Before buying, it's essential to perform due diligence by reviewing governing documents and financial statements to understand ownership rights and obligations. Discussion. Why is a condominium considered a hybrid form of ownership? Answer. Because it combines individual ownership of a private unit with shared ownership of the property's common areas. What is the purpose of condominium bylaws? Answer. To establish rules for managing the condominium association, including elections, meetings, finances, and enforcement of regulations. What do CC and RS regulate in a condominium? Answer. They regulate how owners use their units and common areas and impose restrictions to maintain uniformity and property value. Why should buyers review the condominium's financial reserves before purchase? Answer. To ensure the association can cover major repairs without imposing large special assessments on owners. Closing remarks. Condominium ownership represents one of the most popular forms of modern real estate living, offering affordability, community, and convenience. Yet, this shared ownership model also requires cooperation, accountability, and awareness of collective responsibilities. By understanding the structure of condominium ownership, including its governing documents, management, and financial obligations, real estate professionals and buyers alike can make informed decisions that protect both property values and quality of life.